I think we are already in. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Obviously, you see some familiar faces here on LinkedIn Live. So, from my side, Ilija, but I will come to the introduction, and Mahdis Salehi from aconso today with me. So, first of all, I want to say a warm welcome to everyone who are joining us. As I said, I'm heading the partnerships team at Semos Cloud. Whether you're joining from your office or home, or maybe even sneaking these between the meetings you're having. So, thanks for spending the time to share with us. I hope that this will be a valuable time for you because we took some time for preparation in order to deliver some great notes for yourself as HR leaders. So before we dive into the topic, I wanted to make this a little bit interactive with all of the audiences that are coming with us. So I would like really to hear, because every time I'm saying good morning or good afternoon, it's up to you where you are joining from, but we are really interested in where you're coming from. So whether you are coming from the States, whether you are coming from Europe, from Italy, we would really like to hear the inputs where you coming from. But also, since the topic of today's session is improving the HR efficiency and the synergy through of automation and engagement, something that we will be talking about today, I'm really interested in to hear what are the actual things that are coming first to your mind when we are speaking about automation, whether it's onboarding, whether it's document chasing, recognition workflows, whatsoever. Because right, we can all confess that we, in every day of our life, HR tech industry, we are facing these kind of things. So we'll keep an eye on the chat. I see already some of the comments coming in. So, and I'm also expecting some others to comment as well. So today's we'll be speaking about making HR smoother, making HR smarter and more engaging. So I'm inviting you to grab a coffee. I already took mine since I'm in Europe, but if you're in US, grab the morning coffee, settle in, and let's get into it. So from my perspective, that would be my short intro, even though it took already 2.5 minutes. And now I will be inviting the lady joining me today, Mahdis, International Business Development Manager from aconso, discussing with her how to improve HR efficiency, the synergy of automation and engagement. So Mahdis, I'm also always inviting people who are joining me in 30 seconds to tell their name, their role, and thing that LinkedIn doesn't know about you.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Hi, everyone. And thanks for having me today. I also like to welcome everybody. Thanks for sharing your valuable time with Ilija and me today. I'm Mahdis, International Business Development Manager at aconso, and I drive international growth by helping companies with the end-to-end HR processes in their success factors, especially through the smart automation and strong integration. One thing that LinkedIn doesn't know about me is that I love yoga. And
Ooh.
then, funny enough, I see a big connection between yoga and HR because I think both are about alignment, about flow, and about balance. So just like yoga, that brings harmony to the body and mind. HR creates this harmony between people, culture, and systems.
Oh, that's awesome. You already hit the ground with that, because funny enough, I always want to share also some things that maybe LinkedIn doesn't know about me. Even though with my recent post on LinkedIn, I'm sure that many of the ones who are following me already know my passion about racing marathons. So this is something that I'm definitely connecting with in terms of dedication, in terms of automation, and how I can use the time that is being automated to sneak peek a little bit of time in order to go for a training or a run. Joke aside, let's quickly frame the things. I want to share a little bit of, for those who are joining us and for those who doesn't know about the history maybe and background of Semos Cloud and aconso. I would like to invite both of us to share a little bit of snippet of our core things that we are doing to the companies. I will start with myself since I'm holding the mic. So, joke aside, so our mission is helping organizations to turn employee experiences to really strategic advantages. So, we are really heavily investing in AI-powered recognition, total rewards, and culture building tools, all natively built on and integrated, built on SAP Business Technology Platform and integrated with SuccessFactors. We already helped some global companies, but when I say global, I mean it really globally. Like SAP themselves is not only our strategic partner, but also one of our customers, Sephora. I know the ladies now in the audience will like this fact about us, and Majid Al Futtaim from Middle East, and we have actually helped them to engage and retain their people in more meaningful ways. When I'm saying meaningful ways, it's always ring a bell in my head, like in terms of really taking part of this part here, which is on the left corner when you see when we are talking about engagement. We will deep dive a little bit more into the engagement, but since the second part of the show is the automation, I would give the floor first to you to give a little bit of a couple of words of aconso.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Ilija. Yeah, at Aconso, we've revolutionized digital document management in HR. So as a pioneer of digital personal file and document creation, we streamline the entire life cycle of HR documents in organizations with the integration into SuccessFactors. As you mentioned, SAP is also our strategic partner, and we have a seamless integration into SuccessFactors. And from creation and automation to compliance and secure archiving, everything is in one system for our customers, and our solution make HR faster, smarter, and more efficient. We deep dive into it later on in terms of automation and how AI can help us, for example. But at the moment, we have more than 600 customers worldwide, many international companies that are using Aconso to have their HR organization fully digital. And they can rely on us by delivering innovation in HR, understanding their needs, and scalability by Aconso Cloud solutions.
This is very good because what rings a bell here and what really stayed in my mind, even when we first discussed back in Berlin last year about the possibility and about the synergy actually of Semos Cloud and aconso, maybe on a first point in terms of HR automation and engagement, they're not so much related topics, but it is really bringing the value to the HR itself. So as you mentioned, putting while aconso is ensuring process efficiency, compliance, and automation. On the other side, the Semos Cloud brings the human touch with recognition, engagement, and employees' voice. Something that we have started this discussion with is actually that we are really helping HR to put people first, but also in a process smart HR journey. So helping really HR to first of all automate the things, but afterwards also to take care about the most important part and the most important resource within companies that we are discussing nowadays, and those are the people. Based on that, I've just recently read some Gartner research that says that HR teams still burn 30% of their manual of their week, sorry, on the manual admin, which means contracts, bonus letters, chasing signatures. Meanwhile, engagement scores fail, and we have heard this from some recent Gallup researches and so on. So today we're really diving into it, and we'll be doing this through two scenarios. But before we go into the scenario session where we would like to deep dive into these kind of activities and really spark an interest to the HR folks that are hearing us today, I want to ask you one question actually that came to my mind is what are the biggest inefficiencies that you see from your perspective, speaking about 800 customers that you are having, that HR leaders struggling with today? Like, what are the most common inefficiencies that they are struggling with?
Yeah, I can relate to those numbers that you mentioned, and absolutely, HR teams today are facing a double challenge: high volume and also growing complexity. One of the biggest inefficiencies that I see is the manual handling of documents and fragmented systems. So whether it is a contract, working contract, onboarding paperwork, performance, whatever documents they are dealing with, they are managed across different platforms, and or even sometimes on paper. Believe it or not, there are a lot of companies that still deal with physical paper for their HR that leads to delays, to human errors, and most important, compliance risks. So another key issue that I see is the lack of integration between processes. Processes like onboarding, engagement, because it's very, when they have different platforms and these platforms are not talking to each other, um, then there is a disconnection for HR, and this disconnection makes it really difficult for HR to create a seamless, meaningful employee experience. And that's why I guess automation and a smart integration are so powerful. You know, if the companies use that the facilities and the capabilities of a smart integration, then they allow HR to shift from operational overload to strategic impact.
That's exactly. And I know one of the things that you have just mentioned while we were discussing as a preparation for this LinkedIn Live, and when we were discussing what topic should we take and what scenario should we take in order to showcase to the folks from HR who are listening to us. Um, since everything starts with the candidate experience, but also with the first impression, how they say there is no second chance for first impression. So the onboarding part is very important, as we have concluded from the companies that we are working with. So therefore, I know that we have talked about how aconso eliminates this manual onboarding paperwork, and you already touched upon these kind of things, but also on the other side, not losing the sight of driving the engagement through peer recognition from what we are delivering as a company. But in this case, like this is the, as I mentioned, this is the first impression that the company makes. So I would like to ask you, what is the most important part that aconso is streamlining in terms of automation when onboarding comes into place? I know that you already mentioned there are a lot of contracts, there are a lot of paperworks. I know, especially in Europe, a lot of companies who have huge number of workflows or workloads actually, and new employees coming in who are really overwhelmed with a lot of paperwork, and many of them are still doing it manually. So this connection that you have already settled in, like with the connection of the systems in place, but also digitalization and automation of the process, is something that it's quite important. I would like first to hear your opinion on the onboarding, and I would like afterwards, once a person is onboarded, to share our part of the story, or how we do see the onboarding part and how engagement is putting the importance once a person is well onboarded within the company.
Sure. Thanks for the question. You really said it well, that the first impression is really important. And we are all employees, and we know that how this first impression can impact our career journey with the company. So we want this first impression at Aconso to be so seamless and no stressful for any employee. So with Aconso document creation, all HR teams can create or can automate working contract creation. Not only working contract is related to one employee, there are a lot of, as you mentioned, other documents and other things that HR needs to create. Or at the onboarding stage, they need to collect data or collect document from the new person that is joining the company. So in this case, we see that there are a lot of problems in HR organizations that they need to, for example, create a template manually. They need to send it via email, which is not compliant at all, not secure, download something on the PC, upload it in another system. There are different systems here. And in this case, aconso can help companies create all those templates that are related to an employee, a new hiree, and after that, make sure that all those created documents will be stored in the digital personal file for that new person. So all this automation helps HR not chasing signature, for example, because we have integration with digital signature, not chasing people for doing the task. People who are involved in a process get notification to do their tasks, and not being unsecure that where those documents at the end of the day land, because they can make sure that there is an automation in the background of the system, and those documents will be automatically transferred to the right location for that person. So you see that everything is streamlined, compliant, and connected. And in this case, HR can focus on creating a great first day experience.
So thank you very much. This is so detailed, I would say, and I see that already there is an engagement from the audience. So I would like to loop in here the question that have been asked, because it's very well
Mhm.
connected to this and very well connected to something that I would like to go after and to add on this. So it's as it is appearing here. Like, can you share your most unforgettable moment when you helped an HR team overcome a major challenge with SAP SuccessFactors, like a chaotic onboarding process or a disengaged workforce, and how tools made a difference? I will take this second part, and you can take this chaotic onboarding process.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, by having everything is streamlined for collecting documents and transferring those documents. When we free up HR from a lot of manual paperwork, that can help them to focus on a better experience, and they have more time for the most important asset of the company, meaning employee. So I guess in this case, when they know that in the background, in their back of their mind, that there is an automation and things are done automatically, so they have an ease of mind and less stress and putting manual work, because everything is automated and the process is not chaotic at all. So we have a lot of customers that are using SuccessFactors, and by the onboarding phase, they know that those documents will be transferred. And because of this, it makes the whole process for them more efficient, I say. I hope I could answer your question.
Yeah, and on top of that, continuing the story in terms of the engagement. So we have seen a lot of examples of new hires being hired, and maybe even you can recall in the time when you and me were employed, Mahdis, in maybe even previous jobs, when we were getting these onboarding journeys, which are literally sliced and diced what we need to fulfill in terms of get the next stage, like in the first 1 month, in first second month, in the first months, first weeks. But what is usually missing is, when is the last time when you were receiving a recognition from colleagues in the very first days of your work? Like, for example, you're especially the ones who are senior employees within companies. So they're like used to know the things. They are like used to supposed to fill the gaps within the role that they are taking on already. So imagine from our perspective what we are delivering on top of success factors and core functionalities, but also the performance part, is that our social feed or social wall engagement capability within our platform is actually giving the possibility to the manager to shout out, but also to the colleague to shout out to new employees, to welcome them, to really engage them and encourage them to take the culture biting, because everyone who is a new hire within a company is taking a part of the culture that they have already been into it in their previous job. So if there is a lot of mixture of cultures in new company, then it's could be a mess. Therefore, we are coming into the place, streamlining the company culture on a global level, and actually helping the HR with the first of all the uh, pitfalls of new hires, where they can really lose a new employee, new hire due to disengagement in very first months of their employment, and they have already spent a lot of resources on a new hires and energy and so on. Because we have just actually had a one strategic alignment on within Semos Cloud, and it was what is the cost actually of a new employee, and what is the cost of lost employee after all. It's not only the money that we are giving to those company, but it's the time, is the energy that the manager has spent, is the energy that the colleagues have spent to try to get them into the pace of the company. So it's everything that is really keeping the engagement. And the most important part of it is actually that due to the seamless integration with SuccessFactors, we are seeing those analytics actually in real time, and we see who are the ones who are the newcomers, who are the least recognized, the least engaged, the most engaged. So we can really, as managers, directly intervene where is needed in order that new employee to be more engaged, to be more appreciated by their colleagues, in order to blend much sooner within in the company that they are going in. So if there are no other questions here in the chat, and I see no, I would like to really go to the second scenario that we wanted to pass on today and go through actually. So those are the, you know that this period, especially in Europe, like April, May, are the really timings when it's a bonus season. So when managers are really making a summary of the achievements for the last year. So I know that aconso is helping companies very much streamlining the full process here, like generating the bonus letters, employees getting the PDF, and so on and so forth. So I would like really to hear your part here and share the story and the capability with the HR audience here.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, that is the second scenario that we talked about it before, Ilija, that how we can give our audience examples to show that how we can help with this HR digitalization, or if they are SuccessFactors user, how we can add value to their systems. So as you mentioned, yeah, bonus letter as also, one topic that we touched with aconso document creation. As I mentioned, by the document creation of aconso, you're able to create any kind of template that you want in your HR organization. Bonus letter is one of the examples here. And aconso document creation excels at automating bonus letter processes. So by seamlessly integration with SAP SuccessFactors, enabling HR to generate and deliver documents within a few seconds and few clicks. So when I say few clicks, because the data can be fetched from SuccessFactors and be populated in the template, because at this busy time of the year for managers, you know, that with creating high volume of bonus letters, they need this automation. They need to make sure that every bonus letter is accurate, is compliant, and consistent across the organization. They need to have built-in digital signature processes behind it. So if you put all of these steps beside each other, you see that there are a lot of tasks to be done. And if companies want to do them manually, that would be really, really time taking. And with this automation and eliminating manual steps in between, so we help companies to save time and cost and reduce errors in between. And if companies even, we have a very great feature in our solution, if company really want to create thousands of bonus letters, because we're talking about automation here, they are able to do it via aconso mass document generation. And what is nice about it is when we are talking about automation, then they are able to automatically archive it in the right location for that employee, which is really the end-to-end processes that I mentioned at the beginning. Everything is fully transparent in their success factors, and everything, every workflow can be monitored, and the documents will land in the right location for employees. Employees can get access to it. So in this case, just as we both know, bonus is not just about the number that you get in that document, but also about the recognition. That is one part of it that I guess Semos Cloud can do it perfectly. But we know that there are a lot of manual steps still in between. For example, by using aconso, HR doesn't need to chase for a signature. They don't, bonus letters shouldn't fly around in the organization because everything will be in one system for HR.
And continuing the momentum here, not only the bonus letters that should not fly around, but also the recognition and the feedback based on the bonus letters, or the written and real impactful feedback that the manager should give to their employees based on the performance that they have summarized for the last year, should be also in a kind of a way streamlined process. So in our perspective here, where we are helping the managers, is that once this bonus letter is already in place, so the managers are prompted to send a recognition or feedback to their employees, and this not by giving only a generic thank you or well done. It's a really in our case tied to exact goals the employee contributed to. So using our so-called feedback intelligence, the manager here is guided to with a smart suggestions on how to personalize their message in order to really make an impact to the employees. So really connecting the results that we have just discussed about that are in the bonus letter to the behaviors that they have shown in the past period, and really their efforts to impact at the end of the day. So in by that, the recognition and the feedback shows up on the employee's personal engagement timeline, which is again having the connectivity with the success factors and visible, but it's also visible to peers, encouraging this culture of appreciation. At the end of the day, why is this so important? Because it's not only the bonus letter that is kept in the personal history of an employee, but also their recognition and their feedback is also kept for further performance appraisals, or even for reference letters at the end of the day, if someday they are deciding to leave the company. So since we are having only 2.5 minutes from our time, I would like to really invite the audience if there are some other questions to ask while we are here. If not, we are more than happy to jump on a separate call with all of them. But before we drop off, and if there are no questions, I would really like to invite you, Mahdis, to maybe provide, first of all, one sentence like prediction what would be the future of HR, especially from the lens of automation, and what would be your call to action.
Yeah, that is also very nice. I mean, at these days we all hear a lot about AI, and then we are both using AI in our solutions, which is a great advancement, I guess, for all of our customers to have a better usage of our solutions. So if I want to zoom out a little bit, the next big shift in HR, from my point of view, is the move toward intelligent, connected workflows, where automation and AI don't just spit things up, but actually guide us to better decision making. So we need we need HR teams who are prepared for a future that processes are more predictive and personalized. In this case, HR has less administrative tasks, because we talked a lot today about the administrative tasks, and have more time for people. So I guess in this term, if I want to put everything together, companies solutions like Aconso and Semos Cloud together are so powerful to together because they can help HR to operate smarter in the background behind the scenes while still putting people at the center.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is from my side. I guess yeah, that is the way or the direction that we all go.
This is definitely the thing. And before we drop off, I would like to also confirm that we are seeing with all these AI things, with generalization of things. I think that now is the time, especially in HR, with hyper personalization at scale is taking the charge. So it's no more one size fits all. So it's really delivered at
Right.
scale, and something that it's really making a difference is that all the processes that we are making, even though they're supporting us into the automation and maybe managing some workflows, there should be deeply human, there should be deeply intelligent, and really intentionally designed in order to help the both sides of the coin, not only the HR but also the employees that we are having.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's very important to have both of them at the center, to help both sides.
With this thing, I would like to wrap up the session, and thank you very much, Mahdis, for this session today and great discussion that we have had. From our perspective, if I can say, my call to action is that follow us on LinkedIn and see what are the next events that we'll be participating in. I know some of my colleagues will be going in at Unleash in US. I will be at HR Connect in London. So if you are there, stop by and we can discuss on the topics that we spoke. And Magdis, inviting you, and with that, we can
Sure.
drop off.
Yeah, I also would like everyone to check our document management in SAP SuccessFactors on our website. We have also a new report out there for the HR trends that could be interesting for every HR leader out there. So just check us and follow us on LinkedIn.
Thanks a lot. All the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Take care. Bye.